How long can a person keep calling when almost no one answers? How long can a voice remain sincere when doors close, when faces turn away, when decades become generations? The Qur'an tells us that Nuh, peace be upon him, remained among his people for 1,000 years, except 50. 950 years. Not days, not seasons, years. 950 years of calling a people back to Allah. Day after day, night after night, in public, in private, with warning, with mercy, with sincerity, and still most turned away. Children were born into that call. They grew. They aged. Generations passed through the sound of a prophet inviting them to their Lord. And still, he called. The story of Nuh is not first a story about water. It is a story about patience, about rejection, about truth spoken long after people stopped listening. To understand why Nuh kept calling, we must understand what his people had become attached to. The Quran names the idols they refused to leave. Wood, Suwa, Yaguth, Ya'ok, Nasr. These were symbols of a people who had turned away from pure worship. In Sahih Al-Bukhari, Ibn Abbas explained how this began. These names belonged to righteous men among the people of Nuh. After they died, memorials were made in the places where they used to sit. At first, those images were not worshipped. But when that generation passed away and knowledge of their origin was lost, those memorials became idols. Remembrance, exaggeration, forgetfulness, worship. A nation forgot Allah while preserving names it once honored. And when Nuh called them back, their leaders told them not to abandon their gods. Not Wood, not Suwa, not Yaguth, not Ya'uk, not Nusr. This was not a small correction. Nuh's mission was a call from inherited shirk back to the worship of Allah alone. Nuh said to his people what every messenger called to, "Duses, worship Allah. You have no God besides Him." He warned them. He advised them. He called them with clarity. And he wanted nothing from them in return. No wealth, no status, no reward. His reward was only with Allah. The Quran preserves the rhythm of his dawah in his own words. He called them night and day, but his call only increased them in flight. Every time he called them so that Allah might forgive them, they put their fingers in their ears. They covered themselves with their garments. They persisted, and they were arrogant with great arrogance. Then he called them openly. Then he spoke to them publicly and privately. No method was left unused. No hour was too inconvenient. No rejection made him careless with the message. He was not calling because the results were easy. He called because the truth was true. The chiefs looked at those who followed him and dismissed them. They saw weakness. They saw low status. But Allah saw belief. And only a few believed. For 950 years, the door of mercy remained open. For 950 years, the warning continued. Then the rejected prophet turned to his Lord. The Qur'an gives us his plea. "My Lord, I am overpowered, so help me." Allah answered him. And it was revealed to Nuh that no more of his people would believe except those who had already believed. The long age of calling had reached its appointed end. Then came the command, build the ark under Allah's watchful care and by his inspiration. wood, rope, wind, hands working under command. The ark was obedience, rescue being built before those who still refused to see. As Nuh built, the chiefs of his people passed by and mocked him. No invented speeches are needed. They mocked a prophet while the means of salvation was being prepared before their eyes. After centuries of warning, the ark stood as the final visible opening of mercy. Then, Nuh was commanded to carry what Allah commanded. Pairs, his family, except those against whom the word had already passed, and those who believed. And the Qur'an says, only a few believed with him. No number is given, no list of names is given. The Qur'an leaves it there, and so must we. Then the command came. The sky opened with pouring water, the earth burst forth with springs, water came from above and from below, until what Allah had decreed came together. The flood is immense, but the Qur'an does not turn it into spectacle. It shows judgment, and it shows mercy. The ark moved under Allah's watchful care. Those who believed were carried, those who refused were overtaken. Then, in the middle of the flood, the Qur'an slows down for one of the most painful scenes in the story. Nuh called to his son, who was apart, "O my son, board with us and do not be with the disbelievers." His son answered, "I will take refuge on a mountain to protect me from the water." Nuh replied, "There is no protector today from the command of Allah, except for whom he gives mercy." Then the Qur'an says, "And the waves came between them, and he was among the drowned." No more is added, no final speech, only a wave between a father and a son, only the truth that nearness to a prophet does not save a person who refuses faith. Bloodline could not enter the ark for him. Only Allah's mercy could. Then comes the verse that brings the flood to stillness. The Qur'an does not describe the ending as human survival alone. It describes command. The same Lord who sent the water commanded it to stop. "O earth, swallow your water, and O sky, withhold." And the water subsided, and the matter was accomplished, and it came to rest upon Al-Judi. And it was said, "Away with the wrongdoing people." The earth obeyed, the sky obeyed, the water withdrew, the matter was finished, and the ark came to rest on Al-Judi. After judgment, there was mercy. Nuh was told to descend with peace from Allah and with blessings upon him and upon communities from those with him. Allah had saved the sincere few. The world after the flood was not simply a world after destruction. The story leaves us with more than survival. Family did not guarantee salvation. Numbers did not prove guidance. Mockery did not make falsehood strong. Loneliness did not make the truth weak. Nuh called for 950 years. Most rejected him. Some believed. Allah saved whom he willed by his mercy. And the prophet who was mocked by his people was honored by his Lord. The Qur'an calls him a grateful servant, and Allah preserved for him a salutation until the end of time. Peace upon Nuh among the worlds. That is Allah's judgment of Nuh. Not the judgment of the people who laughed. Not the judgment of those who closed their ears. Not the judgment of those who refused the ark until it was too late. A prophet called for 950 years, and the final word over him was not rejection. It was peace.